Ikram Aliskerov versus Warlley Alves. Obviously Ikram 14-1, 5-0 his last five, coming off of that pretty good highlight kind of KO against Phil Hawes, and in his UFC debut, no less. 30 years old, right in the prime of his career, 6 feet, 76-inch reach, fighting against Warlley Alves, 14-6, 2-3 in his last five. He's coming off against that kind of split decision loss to Nicholas Dalby, another vet. 32 years old, 5'11", 72-inch reach. So he's going to be the shorter fighter here, and Ikram's going to have the 4-inch reach advantage. Uh, Odds for this fight, they have really ballooned up. I mean, Ikram opened up at a minus 300. Now it's a minus 550. So it did get as high as, because I remember seeing it during the day today. It was like minus 600 something. Now it's actually minus 550. So a little bit of people are buying the Warley side there. Um, yeah, I mean, I think this fight is initially I thought that Ikram was going to be like a giga lock, honestly. Uh, but I mean, he's a solid all around fighter, beast of a wrestler. If you just watch his tape, he is coming off of that good KO against Phil Hawes where he found that kill shot. But if you do watch the fight against Phil Hawes, I mean, in the stand-up exchanges, it was actually pretty close there for as long as the fight was going on, right? It wasn't like Ikram was just going in there and like, for example, it wasn't like when Khamzat hunted down GM3 and just like straight up knocked this guy out in that one punch, right? It was a back and forth kind of affair, and I think that Ikram he just found that Phil Hawes chinny chin chin. I mean, Phil Hawes has no chin left, as you saw in that last fight. Phil Hawes also has like low IQ is in the cage. So this is going to be a little bit similar to that Victoria Dudakova, right? I mean, this is going to be an unproven fighter in the UFC coming off of a kind of a highlight KO win. Uh, do like that Ikram has trained with Islam Makhachev in the past. And, Hamzat said that Ikram was his hardest fight of his career, right? Even harder than Gilbert Burns, even though, even though like, I think Hamzat knocked out this guy in like the second or first round, but he still said that Ikram was his hardest fight. So I think that means a little something. Ikram was preparing for a much tougher fight in Nasruddin Imavov, an actual ranked fighter, and now he's facing a short notice Alves. I mean, Alves I believe he has a jiu-jitsu black belt. He likes to kind of throw one at a time, likes to make it a slugfest on the feet with his power, and really invites people in his guard. I mean, you saw, I think he's famous for actually subbing or guillotining Colby Covington that way, right? Colby Covington, when he was fighting at 170, Alves, Colby Covington went in for the takedown, and then Alves pulled guard and kind of pulled that gilly, and then subbed Colby Covington there. So he's the Kobe killer, But if you just watch this fight, I mean, especially the last one, he doesn't have the greatest gas tank. I mean, he faded down the stretch against Dalby. Obviously, he also got knocked out by Jeremiah Wells. I mean, that's not that great either. So I, I still think that the UFC is setting up Ikram for an easy dub. I mean, they basically found the guy who he can kind of build off on. So I would still say Ikram, even though this is a relatively untested fighter in the UFC. He did beat Phil Hawes, who does have good striking. So I'll say Ikram is still a parlay piece. I don't think that a guy like Warlley Alves is gonna, kind of be a parlay buster, if you will. So give me Ikram as a parlay piece, as a potential anchor. I think the UFC is trying to set this guy up potentially to, fight Hamza in the future or something like that again, or fight another guy that's ranked because they were setting him up to fight Nasruddin Imavov. I mean, that's a pretty legit fighter. So I think that this UFC wants to promote this guy a little bit more. I'm going Ikram parlay piece. I don't know if he's going to sub him, decision him, or knock him out because he kind of does a little bit of everything. But I think the money line's good for being a parlay kind of piece anchor there. Alex, what do you think about this fight between Ikram and Alves?
Yeah, this is my gigalot, another gigalot that I have. Um, Warlley Alves, he's a natural welterweight, so
Yeah,
moving up a weight class, going into enemy territory, fighting a natural middleweight in Ikram, who just KO'd Phil Hawes in a spectacular fashion. I think I got Ikram here like pretty confidently. I also don't mind Ikram inside the distance if you want to get those odds down. I just I don't I don't see I don't see how this can go decision. Maybe. What I will say though, I agree with you, James. Like I don't think Ikram's like a god prospect. This guy's not like yeah, he's not like some killer, like Khamzat Chimaev.
Right.
Um, but I think I like him. I still like him here in this spot. I think he's gonna win inside the distance.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it would have been a much harder fight to play if he was fighting Imanov because that would have been a great fight, and I wonder
Yeah,
what the odds would have been for that one. But yeah, I mean, uh, I do think it's better for people who like to parlay because we get one more lock, if you will. So it's
yeah,
another another good opportunity to get a little lock for a leg there. So yeah, I mean, I think it worked out for parlay people, but yeah. Let's see if he finishes guys quick and kind of locks in our leg there.